Right, hello. So hopefully this has gone live. I still haven't fixed that light yet. I ought to probably do it at some point today, but I'll probably not get round to it. So hopefully you get a notification for this and everything. So yeah, it's my birthday today. Not a very exciting one this year, just because it's one of those ones where I've done some stuff a couple of days ago, and I'm going to be doing some stuff in a couple of days' time. But today wasn't a very convenient day for a lot of people I know or family to sort of do stuff on. So thanks everyone saying happy birthday. So it's not one I'm actually doing much on today. So I'm having to sit about not doing much. So if you watched the video the other day, you might recognise this. Thought I'd just get that out. I'm not going to play with it during the stream, but I thought I would get it out for the stream. Right, Rich, and hello to everybody else. So yeah, today is not really a day of doing much. I thought I'd do a stream. A big thank you to Hype, by the way, who might be on, because he sent me as a birthday gift 2 Chinese military watches, which are nice. So there we go, like an older one, more modern one. So that's good. They were both new. They're both like modern reproductions of them, but seagull sort of movement ones. Yeah, there's quite a few people I know, let it be mystery, that have their birthdays in October. But yeah, so they're nice. I might end up wearing them at some point. I'll put them on the thing that keeps them charged at some point soon. But yeah, they're quite nice. There's good loom on the sort of more modern one. But yeah, so my day today's not really been doing anything. Well, the watch is for telling time. If you mean the mini chainsaw, it's a chainsaw but smaller, for cutting logs, branches, that sort of stuff. Cheers, Kit Kat. But yeah, so like I said, today I'm not really doing much. I'm not going to do a long stream today just because I have got a few friends that said, like, if about a certain time of day I'll be up for playing games if you want to. Yeah, cheers, Hype. And I was just showing people I do really like the watches, by the way. So I did get them out earlier because I was opening all the stuff people had given me to open on my birthday today. So I've opened them and roughly set the time. There's quite good loom, isn't there, on that one? Is this the right torch for the loom? Or was it the other one for the loom? I couldn't find my proper loom torch earlier. There we go. So yeah, that one's got quite good loom on it, actually. But, cheers, Visa. Mini chainsaws are actually like a proper thing. So if you go back a few years, apparently it was a couple of the companies that used to make proper chainsaws made some like smaller chainsaws. And again, I don't do any sort of tree surgery type stuff, so I have no need for them. But because the mini chainsaws have been getting cheaper and cheaper and more companies do knockoffs of them now, they're actually kind of a cool thing. So it is literally a chainsaw, just smaller. And I've got a video where there's a load of tests done with it, and it's surprisingly good, but I've not edited it and uploaded it yet. Cheers, Peach. Could you do one legally, though, Rich? That's the only thing. I know with some air rifle stuff, there's a load of stuff where you can't rebuild one legally, but hopefully I'm wrong on that. Yeah, it basically is a ripper because, yeah, you can run it without this bit on as well if you want, and at that point, yeah, it's basically a ripper. And by the way, I'll mention this in the review, but if anybody's trying to buy the replacement batteries for these, go for the ones that say 21-volt batteries that kind of have a certain look to them on Amazon. Because it turns out there's like several brands of the batteries you can get, but don't search like any particular brand, just search 21-volt battery and look for the one that has like 3 little indents on it. Cheers, Tactical. Yeah, it might be useful, Rich, saying that having one on a pole, because what we ended up finding it was really good for was cutting back poison ivy, because of like how tough poison ivy can be. So we ended up, although we started off using it to cut up pumpkins and things like that, we ended up finding in the end it was really useful for gardening. Yeah, I think they are Hype, but it's just, yeah, the actual like fitting to get them to fit onto it. Oh, that sounds good, Lewis. I assume you mean PAPR rather than the paper unit, but yeah, I know what you mean. 28 now, so again, people can work out my username from that. I'm not 32 Peach. It might be. I don't want to open them up straight away, but a lot of them do look like they just have screws on the bottom of them. So I imagine it probably is possible. But yeah, it's going to probably, like you said, be a load of 18650s or similar in parallel, I imagine, for these. So what would that be? Sort of 8 18650s or similar in there in parallel? Well, if you're comparing it to a normal wood saw, it's going to be much more time efficient than a regular hand wood saw. It's not going to be as good as a full-size chainsaw. That sounds good, Hype. This particular aftermarket one seems fairly good because it's one of those ones where you can check the power on it, and it seems to have quite a high capacity for charging when I've been charging it. The one that came with it wasn't brilliant, as in it fully charges pretty quickly and it runs down pretty quickly. Okay, that's good then, Rich. So yeah, it sounds like you can get around the wording of the law from that. Mostly money from people, Peach. And cheers, Lewis. I've refilled recently, Lewis, so that's a good thing. I don't need to buy any more petrol or gasoline or whatever for a while, but thank you. Yeah. So if you missed it, Peach, Hype sent me 2 watches. That's kind of the most interesting item type of thing I've been sent. Lots of relatives either gave me money, scratch cards, bottles of beer, that sort of thing, kind of stuff you normally get for birthdays from people that don't really know what to get you, so they get you a card and they put something in it, which I'm completely happy with personally. Thank you, Shy Guy Show. I don't know why you found the stream if you don't know who I am, but maybe YouTube's recommending me. So YouTube recommends me when it's a random stream about my birthday, but doesn't recommend my videos to my subscribers. That sounds about right. I've not opened any of the case backs on them. So I assume at the moment it's just... Oh, no, you're right. It has a clear case back on it. I've not taken the strap off yet, so let's have a look. I'll take the strap off and the... So that might be easier said than done in the middle of a stream. It's obviously got a NATO strap on it, hasn't it? But let's just take off one side of the NATO strap. But yeah, I do like when you can see automatic movements with the... Right, there we go. Right, so let's take the protective layer of plastic off as well. But annoyingly, this probably won't focus on the camera very well, just simply because of the fact I've not got the extra lighting now. Because I need to repair it, but yeah. Yeah, knowing our luck, the webcam just will refuse to focus on this. Yeah, it's not going to focus. Yeah, it's very nice to look at. I've had a couple of watches like that, but I don't think they're as complex as this one. So this one is a lot more interesting, saying that. Cheers, Doug. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, Rich. Yeah, because then that stops them being able to say it's actually made, for putting projectiles in it. All right, will do. Hype, thank you for the warning. I saw it because Big Clive did a video on it, Visa, but I assume if they're sort of everywhere on eBay at the moment, then yes. But yeah, there was a Big Clive video on these. They've been out for a couple of years, apparently. Cheers and Telebright Films, but yeah, it seems like these are becoming a bit more common at the moment, with lots of various eBay and Amazon sellers sort of selling them. Some are safer than others. This one, for example, has quite a good safety on it, as in this, that, opens as you push it into stuff. But some of them, literally have nothing there, or just have like what looks like a target sort of thing there. But even like that, it's safe if you're being careful with it. Yeah, I get what you mean there, Hype. Yes, stop it before pressing the reset. But yeah, I completely understand what you mean. Oh, I see. I see what you mean. You're saying, have I seen that weird battery thing? So it's literally a Black & Decker one where the saw blade that goes back and forth. What, like a jigsaw type thing or not? Let me have a look. Black & Decker power saw. Let me search that and see if I can. There's the one coming up, which is like one where the blade does that. If you mean those, I've seen a few brands of the ones that do that, a bit like an electric kitchen knife, but bigger. Are you on about those? The Black & Decker Scorpion, or whatever they call them, because those have been around quite a while. If you mean that one where you can change the saw attachments, I do know what those are. Yeah. Those have been around in the UK for ages. Being able to get those, I've never really bothered having one, but they're basically a big electric kitchen knife where the blade just goes back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. I will probably get some decent gardening gloves, Peach, because at the moment I've got like heavy riot gloves, which are fairly good, and I've got some like cheap hole-ridden, gardening gloves. So I might just buy some good quality new gardening gloves. So Tactical says that sound, and Nate says the same thing. Sounds like a I can't pronounce it. Reshiaprasating saw or something. But yeah, it's literally the ones I think he means where the blade just goes back and forth a bit. And again, that means it functions like you doing that with your hand, doesn't it? But yeah. Which is the one? Is that the alligator that you can put on the chain, Tactical? Or is it another thing? Black & Decker alligator saw. Yes, I know that one. It's the one with like the clamp on, isn't it? Because I think they used to do that years ago with. Oh, well, there's several ones coming up. But if it's the Black & Decker alligator, that's the one that looks like massive pincers with the saw in. But yeah, that looks pretty functional. So basically, one end grabs the log to stop it moving, I guess, and the other one is the saw. Yeah, that looks fairly good. And I like the ones that have the little lithium batteries on, so you don't actually have to get a wire out or put some fuel in them. Yeah, it's only still there because of the fact that I've not found anywhere to put it where it won't get damaged. Reciprocating, says Peach. Yeah, that sounds about right. They used to do one like that. I don't know if it's the same thing, where it used to be on a pole as well. So you could do like tree branches higher up, where you had like a pole, and then I think the button was down there, and the button would close it and then start soaring. If I'm thinking of the right thing, I don't know if it was a Black & Decker one or a different brand. But I remember seeing them in Milton Keynes years ago. Yes, gas masks. There's gas masks behind me. But yeah, I'm going to end up doing some actual proper gardening with this because of how well it turns out to do it. And I'm almost tempted to get a second one as a backup. I've got all the spare chains for it, and I've already replaced a chain on that once with a brand new one just to test they fitted. Avtomat Kalashnikov. What about them? If I wanted to dual wield it, Peach, I'd probably have to get a second one with not as good safety on, because they have a right-handed safety on these. Because yeah, these ones, although you probably could use it left-handed, yeah, it's not as good because it doesn't work as a safety then, because your trigger finger is also the one that activates it. When you use it this way round, you actually have to put your thumb on the safety and do it like that. So yeah, I'd rather get one with a different safety system, because I don't want a left-handed one where you have to clutch it really tightly to get it to go. Well, pole axe is an axe on a pole, so I assume it's the same logic. You've got a pole with a saw on the end. Oh, so you finally got that Master Jedi. That's good. 2018 model C50 for what, £150 you paid for it? That's really good, isn't it? Even if, like you said, it's not got the outserts or filter, but for 150 for a mask that is within its lifespan that is worth a hell of a lot of money, that's very good. Yeah, that is good. All right, I've just blocked the guy that's spamming random words in the stream because, you know, we kind of like to talk about actual stuff, not random words. I don't smoke any more peach, so as much as I have got some cigars in the drawer, I'm not going to open them and smoke them, as tempted as I might be. Yeah, hype. When I put the video up, which will probably be the next video I do, just because I've got all the footage for it, it's really good at cutting up like branches and ivy. That's what one of my friends is getting on for his mum, because she's got a bit of arthritis. She'll actually find that much easier to use than trying to use pruners and things like that. Because when we were around his house, we're like, oh, we might as well do a bit of your mum's, you know, ivy and get it trimmed for her. And then we ended up doing nearly all of it because of how easy it was. Because it was quite fun just hacking at stuff with a chainsaw and watching it fly. But again, when you're doing ivy, you probably want a respirator on and like goggles, because of the fact that it makes horrible little bits of bark and dust fly everywhere that you can inhale and get in your eyes. I'll have to look that up and tell the right films. No, I've not heard of that at all. Cheers, David. Yeah, we'll do so. As I said, at the moment, I actually want to sell some stuff to make some room again. And cheers, Brighton. What is your strongest source, Cheeky, that's giving off that just out of interest? Like, what sort of material is it that gives that sort of reading? But yeah, there's a couple of helmets I want to sell, but again, they're the ones where I actually have to find which boxes I've stored them in. Because on Wednesday, I actually had spent 20 to 30 minutes digging through a load of the boxes, and I was like, there's loads of helmets in these, but not the particular helmet I want to sell. So I think it's either going to be this box or this box that have got them in, because I was looking in ones in the other room. I've got the old British Armed Police Passkirt style helmet I'll probably sell, because I can get £30 to £50 for it, and I've got better Passkirt style helmets now, so there's no point really keeping that one, especially because I don't like the liner. It's never comfortable in my head. Yeah, they're not very expensive, Hype, and yeah, you can get, like I said, all the parts seem to be quite universal. And they actually work quite well, because what surprised me with mine, I don't know if I took a picture of it, is how much gunk was in it after we did some sawing and it was still running. Obviously I was cleaning it out every now and then of, all the branches and that as we were cutting it. But that was what really surprised me, was, I was cutting some of the stuff with it and then it kept running despite the fact, there we go. So that's what it looked like at the end of our session. Let's just zoom out a bit. There you go. If the camera focuses. Look at all that leaves and branches and shit stuck in it. And that was still running, so it runs like an 8K. Where, as you run it, it would chew up more of them and just spit them out. But yeah, so you don't have to worry about regularly taking it apart and cleaning it. I definitely do it after each session, but it's not one of those things where you have to within 2 minutes of running it, be like, oh, there's a bit of branch stuck in it. I need to take the battery off, and pull that branch out, or dismantle it and assemble it. No, it runs pretty damn efficiently, and it has an overheat protection. So if you jam too much stuff in it, it will just stop working, and then you can take the battery off, disassemble it, get all the leaves and crap out, and then reassemble it. And thank you, Stoic Jedi. Thank you, will do. How do you safely do them, Brighto? But be careful, just in case somebody on here tries to copy you and doesn't do it safely. But yeah, Intellibright, I definitely think mask prices are going to keep going up every time Corona drags on longer, or there's some sort of training thing for a future bio sort of problem. Did you have a nice time in Great Yarmouth? I haven't been there in years. Is that cinema still in Great Yarmouth, near the pier? Like the one that's in the old aquarium building, whatever it is, the Days Remit? Because that's a good cinema. Can't remember what it's called, but it's, like a good rare, if it's still independent or whatever it's called, rather than being like an Odeon or a Cineworld, whatever it is, just like the independent one that used to be in, I think it's an old aquarium building. But yeah, near the main pier in Great Yarmouth. Because that's definitely the cinema I have the most memories of going in to watch films, coming out in the bright sun, and then suddenly having your eyes really struggle to adjust to the sunlight because you've come out, in a summer day from being in the cinema without, going down any corridors for your eyes to start adjusting. Because I think one of the screens literally has a tiny corridor and then it's straight out into the open through a fire door once you finish watching films. The thing is, Peach, I don't really care about brands of cinema, right? All I really care about is it a good price for the tickets, and are the seats and sound systems and that good enough? But like I said, I've been to enough places where there's still independent cinemas. I think the cinema closest to us might be a View, and I think the other one closest to us is a Cineworld. But okay, Brighton, yeah. It doesn't surprise me, Hyper, if you keep getting like outbreaks after outbreaks in places, especially when you keep getting like the different variants. Because I think in the UK now we're meant to have like a Delta Plus or another Delta variant. And again, now there's all the arguing of should we lock down for it? Should we do this? Should we do that? And I think the personal thing is get a vaccination if you're eligible and it's safe for you to get a vaccination or your double vax or whatever, and just be sensible. Don't panic, but also don't act like an idiot. But something that's the two sort of opposites most people go to, it seems. Spread it with everybody, or like turn into the bloke from what's it? Can't remember what the film's called now. Contagion, with all his like bio suit on. Yeah, I won't be on more than like another 10 minutes because, as I said, I'm doing quite a short stream today because I've had a few friends that have said to me, can I go online at a certain time so they can say happy birthday and like play a game with me or whatever. And I am doing a couple of things, not very strenuous things, but I am doing a couple of jobs around the house, when I can just think to turn something on at a certain time, like a washing machine or whatever, then turn something off at a certain time just so it gets done while I'm around the house. Thanks for the offer, Peach, but I don't know if I'd actually play it. That's the thing. At the moment, there's not, because I've had a few friends saying to me, "Oh, have you seen anything on Steam you want for sale on that?" And at the moment, there's not much. Like I've got stuff on my wish list, but at the moment, I've still got a couple of games that I'm trying to finish that I bought a while ago. But thank you for the offer, because I've had loads of people offer me games. But at the moment, it's kind of like I don't know if I'd actually play them. And I don't like saying to people, "Oh yes, please send me a game," if I'm not going to play it. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the problem we've had here, back and forth. Where half of like the people want to lock down every time the cases get to a certain number, and then the other people are like, "Oh, let's do nothing." Where in reality, maybe you should, escalate your reaction as and when you need to, instead of just locking down all the time or completely ignoring it. Yeah, I don't know if the military need gas masks, experts, because at the moment it's mostly private companies that sell gas masks in the military. It's not like really, an internal military thing anymore. But thank you to everybody saying happy birthday. Yeah, I'll be off fairly soon anyway, like I said, just because I've told people, I might be on at certain times if they want to do stuff, and I don't want to say that and then not turn up. But yeah, for the next week or so, I have got a lot of stuff I can do videos on, where people have sent me stuff to do videos on, or I've bought stuff I want to review and that sort of stuff. So in the next couple of weeks, although I don't know how many videos I can get done per week, just because I'm still working quite a lot, there will be quite a lot of videos that you're, like on a new thing each week, like a new sort of product. Cheers, Tactical Pirate. One of the problems we have in the UK as well, Hype, is that Scotland, England, Wales, and I assume Northern Ireland as well, all have like kind of different tiers of corona restrictions. So it's not even a simple thing, if you cross the border from England to Wales or vice versa, suddenly the rules you need to be following are really different. And apparently that gets really bullshit is if you're going on a train that goes over the border, where once you're in Wales, you're expected to wear a mask while you're on the train, but you're not if you're in, England itself. So technically, you can have people having a go at you if you've gone from England not wearing a mask. Suddenly, you're in Wales and like a conductor type person gets on. Why aren't you wearing a mask? Well, I didn't have to wear a mask for the last 100 miles of this journey with the same passengers in the same car, but now I do because I'm with, I crossed the border kind of thing. But yeah, thank you everybody. Have a good day. Don't know if I'll be on tomorrow or whatever, but I should be doing a couple of streams during the week and uploading a couple of videos. But I'm still going to be working 5 to 6 days a week most weeks anyway, so I can't do too much content. But yeah. Royal Armouries, I'm afraid, is nowhere near close to where I live, literally the opposite side of the country. Again, Hype, that sounds like a good idea, but we're having a problem here where, as much as we should be encouraging people to have swabs and things like that done, it seems to save money, the government's making those harder to do now. So we're having the issue where, people are saying, well, I don't want to get tests because I don't want to actually have to pay for them. So, again, it would help with a longer thought out plan of how to, do isolating and testing, rather than like, oh, because the numbers have been good recently, cut the funding to all of like the different tests and make them more private. Yeah, that's not going to encourage people to actually get the tests done. Anyway, thank you everybody. Thanks to all the people who sent me gifts or donations, and have a good day. I'm going to have a good day, and I might be on tomorrow for a stream if I get time. If not, I'll be on during the week at some point. Right, see ya. Bye.